Hello students, today we start the class 11th lesson first, the living world. How wonderful is the living world? The wide range of living types is amazing. The extraordinary habitats in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountain, deciduous forest, oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts, or hot springs leave us speechless. The beauty of a galloping horse, of a migrating birds, the valley of flowers, all the attracting shark evokes away and a deep sense of wonder. The ecological conflict and the cooperation among the members of a population and among the populations of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. This question has two implicit questions within it. The first is a technical one and seeks answer to what living is as opposed to the non-living, and the second is a physiological one and seeks answer to what the purpose of life is. As a scientist, we shall not attempt answering the second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. 1.1 What is living? When we try to define living, we conventionally look for distinctive characteristics exhibited by living organisms: growth, reproduction, ability to sense environment, and mount a suitable response come to our mind immediately as unique features of living organisms. One can add a few more features like metabolism, ability to self-replicate, self-organize, interact, and emerges to this list. Let us try to understand each of these. All living organisms grow, increases in mass and increases in number of individuals are twin characteristics of growth. A multicellular organisms grows by cell division in plants. This growth by cell division occurs continuously throughout their lifespan. In animals, this growth is seen only up to certain age. However, cell division occurs in certain tissues to replace the lost cells. Unicellular organisms grow by cell division. One can easily observe this in vitro cultures by simply counting the number of cells under the microscope. In majority of higher animals and plants, growth and reproduction are mutually exclusive event. One must remember that increase in body mass is considered as growth. Non-living objects also grow if we take increases in the body mass as a criterion for growth. Mountains, boulders, and sand mounds do grow. However, this kind of growth exhibited by non-living object is by accumulation of material on the surface. In living organisms, growth is from inside. Growth, therefore, cannot be taken as a defining property of living organisms. Conditions under which is can be observed in all living organisms have to be explained, and then we understand that it is a characteristics of living organisms systems. A dead organisms does not grow. Reproduction, likewise, is a characteristic of living organisms. In multicellular organisms, reproduction refers to the production of progeny, possessing features more or less similar to those of parents. Invariably and implicitly, we refer to sexual reproduction. Organisms reproduced by asexual means, also fungi, multiply and spread easily due to reproduction by asexual means also. Fungi multiply and spread easily due to millions of asexual spores they produce in lower organisms like yeast and hydra. We observe budding in planaria flatworm. We observe true regeneration, that is, a fragmented organism regenerated the lost part of its body and becomes the new organisms. The fungi, the filamentous alga, the protonema of mosses all easily multiply by fragmentation. When it comes to unicellular organisms like bacteria, unicellular alga or amoeba, reproduction is synonymous with growth, that is, increase in numbers of cells. We have already defined growth as equivalent to increase in cell number or mass. Hence, we notice that in single-celled organisms, we are not very clear about the uses of these two terms, growth and reproductions. Further, there are many organisms which do not reproduce: moles, sterile worker bees, infertile human couples, etc. Hence, reproduction also cannot be all inclusive defining characteristics of living organisms. Of course, no non-living object is capable of reproducing and replicating by itself. Another characteristic of life is metabolism. All living organisms are made of chemicals. These chemicals, small and big, belonging to various classes, sizes, functions, etc., are constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. These conversions are chemical reactions or metabolic reactions. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular. All plants, animals, fungi, and microbes exhibit metabolism. The sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. No non-living object exhibit metabolism. Metabolic reactions can be demonstrated outside the body in the cell-free system. And isolated metabolic reactions outside the body of organism performed in a test tube is neither living nor non-living. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exceptions, isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living things, but surely living reactions. Hence, cellular organizations of the body is the defining feature of life form. Perhaps the most obvious and technically complicated features of all living organisms is this ability to sense their surroundings or environment and respond to these environment stimuli, which could be physical, chemical, or biological. We sense an environment through our sense organs. Plants respond to external factors like light, water, temperature, other organism, pollutants, etc. All organisms from a prokaryotes to the most complex eukaryotes can sense and respond to environment. Mental causes. Photoperiod affect reproduction in seasonal breeders, both plants and animals. All organisms handle chemicals entering their bodies. All organisms therefore are aware of their surrounding. Human being is the only organism who is aware to himself, that is, he has a self consciousness. Consciousness therefore becomes a defining property of living organisms. When it comes to human being, it is all the more difficult to define the living state. We observe patients laying in coma in hospitals, virtually supported by machines which replace heart and lungs. The patient is otherwise brain dead. The patient has no self consciousness. Are such patients who never come back to normal life, living or non living. In higher classes, you will come to know that all living phenomena are due to underlying interactions. Properties of tissues are not present in the constituent cells but arise as a result of interactions among the constituent cells. Similarly, properties of cellular organelles are not present in the molecular constituents of the organelles but arise as a result of interactions among the molecular components comprising the organelle. These interactions result in emerged properties at a higher level of organization. This phenomenon is true in the hierarchy of organizational organism complexity at all levels. Therefore, we can say that living organisms are self-replicating, evolving the self-regulating interactive system capable of responding to external stimuli. Biology is the story of life on earth. Biology is the story of evolution of living organisms on earth. All living organisms, present, past, and future, are linked to one another by the sharing of the common genetic material, but to varying degrees.